Okay, so now that you smacked your sugar, get a cup out. Hey buds, you're here with Betsy, and it is Saturday and I'm ready to show you how to bake. I am so excited to be here with you. We are going to be baking some delicious pumpkin oatmeal cranberry cookies. I found this recipe online and I'm really excited to see if it works. So, let's get started. Okay guys, so the first step on the recipe here is to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and take my oven and do that. And now it says combine the flour, oats, baking soda, cinnamon, and salt in a medium bowl. So we need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay, I have this little bit of flour here, which is not going to be 2 cups. It's probably only going to be 1 cup. So we're going to pour this in and see how much it makes. I lied, it was only really a half a cup. So I need to open this new bag of flour and get some more out of it. These bags of flour are always so hard to open. I don't know why they make them so difficult. I'm using a half cup measuring thing, so it's taking a little bit more. But you want 2 cups of flour, and you want to put this in a medium bowl, remember. Okay, 2 cups of flour. Okay, next you want to put in 1 1/3 cup of oats. So we have 1 cup. And then we have 1/3 cup. And you want it to be quick or old-fashioned oats. So one of those 2 options. Then you want to use a teaspoon of baking soda. I have my baking soda right here. And I'm going to get out my teaspoon right here. So 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And next, we want 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So I have my ground cinnamon right here. And I'm going to take the shaking top off of it so I can just put my little spoon in. Oh wait, this spoon doesn't really fit that well. Oh well, I made it fit. You know, in baking, if things don't always work your way, make them work your way. That's the best tip I can give you. If the spoon refuses to fit in the cinnamon, make it fit in the cinnamon. Best baking tip you guys will ever get. Okay, and then a half a teaspoon of salt. So now, we want to set this bowl aside. And as we set this bowl aside, we're going to bring over our other bowl, which we're going to mix the wet ingredients into. Okay, so now next, in a big bowl, we are going to cream all of our wet ingredients. So first, we want to take 2 sticks of butter and make sure they're softened and put them in the bowl. Now, if you're like me, you did not prepare beforehand, so your butter is not softened. So you're going to want to pop it into the microwave. Now, also, if you're like me, your butter is not going to be soft. It's going to be melted. You know what? It's all the same. No one cares. Now, you want to take 1 cup of brown sugar and put it into that melted, supposed to be softened butter. Now, if you're also like me, you don't properly store your brown sugar, so it becomes kind of like a rock. So, what you want to do is take it and just smack it against something a little bit. This is a really good way to get anger out. This is why people use baking as a coping skill. It's not because they actually like to bake or anything. They like to smack things against things. Okay, that you smacked your sugar, get a cup out. Try not to get any like hard rocks into it, because those tend to not like to mix with the butter too well. Try to get the nice powdery sugar out. Okay guys, so after you're done with the brown sugar and you put all of it in and you smash the lumps that you accidentally did get into it in, next you want to get a cup of sugar, regular granulated sugar. Now, you want to put that in with the butter and the brown sugar, and you want to mix it all together and or cream it, which basically just means mix. You know, in baking they use a lot of different words for mixing. But most of the words have to do with what it's supposed to look like after you're done mixing it. So in other words, creaming it together means that it's going to make kind of a creamy consistency. But it's really just mixing. Okay, so after you're done creaming your mixture together, then you want to add the pumpkin, the egg, and the vanilla. Okay, so you want to grab your pumpkin. Actually, I'm going to get a smaller spoon for this. So now you want to grab your pumpkin, and you want to just plop it in here. Now you want a cup of this pumpkin. I don't know if I've mentioned that or not, but you want a cup of pumpkin. You want to plop it in your mixture. I love anything that has to do with pumpkin. You know, pumpkin is like my favorite thing ever. And then you want to mix that around. Mix it up and everything's nice and even and orangey. Okay, and then you want to add 1 egg. Now make sure when you crack your egg you don't get any eggshells in the mixture, because that's gross. No one wants to bite into their cookie and get a nice crunchy eggshell. And it can cause salmonella. Okay guys, next you want to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So I have my vanilla here. You want vanilla extract. I always use like actual like vanilla extract, not that imitation vanilla. Gosh, I couldn't even say imitation. That's crazy. Because it's not good for you. My body wasn't meant to say that because it's fake. And I don't like fake things in my food. And then next, you want to add your flour mixture to the wet mixture. Now hopefully you actually listen to my directions and you put your flour mixture in the smaller bowl and put your wet mixture in the bigger bowl. But if you didn't do that, you might want to switch some things around. Now, you want to dump your flour and your oats and your cinnamon and all of that jazz into your wet mixture and just get it all nice and together. Okay, so now, because this is a cranberry pumpkin recipe, we are going to take some dried cranberries that we got at the store. I have these nice Ocean Spray craisins, and we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of these to our mixture. And now it asks for nuts. But I don't really want to add nuts to it. Instead, I think I'm going to add a nice little sweet treat to it and add some chocolate, because that sounds delicious. So I'm going to take 3/4 of a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips and put it into our mixture. Now, if you don't want it to have chocolate in it, then you can add 3/4 of a cup of, what does it ask for? Walnuts. And you can add those walnuts to it. And then that will make it a little bit less sweet and a little bit more probably healthy, having nuts in it. Now also, white chocolate chips would be delicious in this, but I could not find mine, so I'm using semi-sweet, which is also delicious. Now you want to mix all of this up until it's all mixed in there evenly. And then once it's all mixed into there evenly, you're going to want to dip out spoonfuls onto a baking sheet. Now, if you're using parchment paper, just line your cookie sheet with the parchment paper and put it on there. If you're not a parchment paper user, then you're going to want to make sure you grease that cookie sheet, because if you don't grease it, those cookies are going to stick and you are not going to be able to get them off, and it's going to be very frustrating. So please save yourself the trouble. Now, what you want to do is after you get done putting your cookie dough onto the baking sheet, you want to put it in the oven for 14 to 16 minutes. I usually go with a nice 15 because it's nice in the middle, but depending on your oven temperature, how your oven works, you might want to go with a little bit less or a little bit more. But just make sure that you check the cookies and they look like golden brown, like kind of like the consistency that you like them to be. Then you're pretty much done. All you have to do is wait for the cookies to finish. While I'm waiting, I like to do random things. Singing, cleaning, dancing, whatever. Sometimes I just chill. Guess it just depends on what you like. I'll be back and show you how the cookies turn out. Hey guys, I am back. And my cookies are now done. I put them in this container to let them cool off for a little while, because, you know, you shouldn't eat cookies when they first come out of the oven. One, they're usually really hard to move anyway, and two, they're really hot, and you don't want to burn your mouth. So, anyway, I'm going to taste test these and tell you how they turned out. This is what it looks like. It looks really super good. These are so good. This was a terrific recipe. So now, I want all of you buds to go out there and try this recipe and comment and tell me how they turned out. Thank you so much. I love you all. Bye, buds.